spot slope. Okay, so we're going to do as we usually do, pick up where we left off. So that's 0607 Revit site complete. We open that up, we save as. Okay, so this is number 8, the sixes, and then we'll say begin. Right, we'll save it as. Okay, there we go. All right, what were we going to do here? Add spot slope. There are slopes. Okay, let's start off in the plan view. So we're going to go to Site Phase 1 Show Complete. Let's just double click on that. So in here, we've labeled our contours. We have picked out some points as far as spot elevations. And now we just need to put on some spot slopes. Now, before we do that, I'm noticing, and you probably have noticed this too, that our text style is not quite uniform here. So let's just change them. I'm going to click on the contours first, and let's click on Edit Type. Let's change the font to Stylus. Just want to keep this as consistent as we can. And then I think it was 2mm was generally what we were doing. Because everything is very tight in here, we almost are forced to make this one a little bit of a smaller text. So we could even say, go with 1mm on that style there. Unfortunately, we kind of have to cram that in. But on these guys here, we have a lot more room around those. So let's just edit that type, duplicate it. We'll call this one spot LF1. We're just cleaning up a few things before we get to the spot slope. But stylus and size was going to be, I think, 564, so this is actually very close to 2mm. Okay, and then we can pick these other ones, holding down the Control key while I select them. And I'm just going to go here to spot LF1. Good, it's looking a little bit more uniform. Now let's get those slopes on there. Okay, annotate, spot slope. Click on that. Now let's make a type while we're at it, because really the one that's there by default isn't used that much in that format. So let's just click on Edit Type, duplicate. We're going to make one called Slope Degrees. You'll see what I mean in a second here by this. Okay. Now you can do things in here like change what type of leader you're going to have. I think arrow's going to be fine. Is it going down or is it going up? How long is the leader line? That's something we want to change. So let's make it like 0.5. Now let's change the text font. We're going to go to Stylus, and the text size is going to be 564 or 2mm. Now the most important thing here is the units format. I'm going to click on that, and notice what we have here. We can either just use the project settings, which will be whatever's standard, but we don't really want to do that. What we want to do is choose it ourselves and say decimal degrees. Then under the unit symbol, we're going to go with degrees. We're going to say OK. And we're going to say OK. And let's see how that looks. Pretty good. You really have to put that degree sign on there, or else it's very ambiguous. It's just 31. So you want to avoid that. Right there, there's no slope, so there's no slope. Okay, right there at the corner, it's a little bit less as we get down farther here. Fairly consistent, but let's just put a few. I'm going to put a few out here on the side. So this tool works with floors. It works with roofs. It's a very versatile tool. All right, so I'm going to click on one of these, and let's make yet another style. So I'm going to click on that, say Edit Type, duplicate, we'll say Slope Percentage. We'll go right down to the units format, click on that, and we'll say percentage. Notice you want that unit symbol there, good. All right, so now that's a percentage. If I were to just take this one and copy it down a little bit, click on it, go to the type properties, slope percentage. So now we have the degrees and now we have the percentage. That's not all that it does too. Like I said, it does do roofs and floors. So sometimes you want to show something else. So I'm going to copy this one over. Let's click on it, edit type, duplicate, and we'll call it rise and run. again, down to units format. Let's just click on that one. And then we can say a rise and run. So you can say a rise in 12 inches or a ratio in 12. You got to watch that one. A rise in 1 foot. That's just a display. So if I just say rise in 12, when I go to add in the spot slope, if I say rise and run, there it is right there. So it's giving you a 1 in 12. And again, if you're on a roof, it works. We're going to do this again. We did it in the essentials class, but we are going to do it again, just looking at when we look at floors and roofs a little bit more in depth. Okay, so the spot slope. Okay, so let's zoom extents. We just stuck to the plan view here, but it does work in elevation and section as well, as long as you can see the slope, as long as Revit can see the slope. And again, we will revisit this when we do our roof and floor units. So view, close hidden. Let's just save what we've done. Okay, here we are back at the recent files screen.